over pump price of petrol trailing the commencement of supply by the Dangote Refinery remains a puzzle waiting to be solved. In the face of this, oil marketers are of the opinion that it is abnormal for the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to sell petrol produced locally from Dangote Refinery to Nigerians at a pump price higher than imported fuel. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, stressed that the celebration over the development is needless if imported products are cheaper. Meanwhile, the NNPCL has confirmed that it is paying Dangote Refinery in dollars for September petrol offtake, as Naira transactions will only commence on the 1st of October. All right, BK, let's start this conversation this way. Looking at the reports that the PMS vessels will arrive, according to the oil marketers, saying that their PMS vessels will arrive. Some said maybe today or tomorrow, but said soon. But looking at it, the pump price as released by the NNPCL, is it enough reason to justify importation as stated by the oil marketers?
Well, if what we want to see is a very competitive environment. If in the grand scheme of things, the price of petrol sold by the Dangote Refinery is not significantly lower than was imported, then people would wonder what's going on. Many Nigerians thought with the coming on stream of the refinery that we would not only be guaranteed product availability, we will also be guaranteed cheaper fuel.
Yes.
But I've always warned that the fact that the Dangote refinery is coming on stream is no guarantee that fuel will become cheaper significantly. The difference will just be marginal. That is what petrol stakeholders have been telling us, that the difference will be marginal. It's not, they've been saying this, but I guess many Nigerians were so nostalgic about those years when we had access to cheap fuel. Some were even thinking that it could come for as low as 300 naira per liter. Some were quoting 250, some were quoting 400. There are many issues involved. One of the biggest problems we've had is the fact that our currency has declined rapidly. You can imagine if our currency stood at maybe 900 naira or 1,000 naira to a liter, they won't be quoting this kind of price for us. The value of our currency is a big factor in determining
the price,
the pump price of petroleum products. It's a big, big factor, because look at it. This is a commodity priced in the globally accepted currency, which is the dollar. And even as Nigerians, we cannot expect an NPC to sell below the global oil prices. Somebody on Facebook was suggesting today that they could sell
below the
they
global.
could sell crude oil to Dangote at $50, for example. And I'm like, what kind of suggestion is this? If we sell, because already the cost of producing crude oil in our country is one of the highest in the world. It's costing us in the region of $40 to produce a barrel. Some countries will do it in just $20. If we sell to him at $50, I doubt if Nigeria can make up to $10 on a barrel. People should also remember that this is not simply about Nigeria. It is a joint venture environment. IOCs are producing. It is not everything that we produce that goes to NNPC. Maybe if we do like 1.6 million, NNPC will get like maybe 800. I'm just using that as an illustration.
Okay, because of the sharing formula between the IOCs
yes,
and...
so they don't even get everything. And that is why pricing, you will find it difficult to go below the pricing template.
Okay.
So there are so many issues. I knew that because of the value of our currency, we will have issues. And I've been pushing that we can't leave this currency in the state that it is. I, for one, never imagined that my country's currency will go as low as 1,600. And if our own oil corporation is quoting 1,637 to a dollar in their transaction with the Dangote Refinery, it's a matter of big concern. That's why now they are saying that right now the gantry price per ton at the refinery was quoted to be $736, which is the equivalent of 0.55 per liter.
Okay.
0.55 cent per liter. So that is what, all of it still comes to the value of our currency. I do not think that, because this argument that, is cheaper than the imported brand, I do not believe that it's cheaper than the imported brand, because the same marketers have told us that the landing cost is in the region of 1,117. Sometimes they'll say 1,200. In Nigeria, we do not use oil tax. Some countries, they use it. Nigeria, we do not have. So if they had added oil tax, it will even have been higher.
BK, you keep talking about our currency. Then what should be done? We have the CBN there.
Every country, every serious country, does not leave its currency to the elements.
To demand and supply,
yes.
Market forces.
That is the problem.
China, I keep talking about China.
Yes.
So people will say, why are you comparing? We are not at the same level with China. That's a silly argument.
Are you saying we should stop?
We are saying that, look, China, I'm not saying we are like China. We aspire to be among the best. So if I use examples from bigger countries or better countries, there can be nothing wrong with that.
Copying is allowed here.
I'm saying that China has continued to tamper with its currency because it wants to attract, it wants to stimulate exports. So it deliberately devalues its currency. The Americans have been complaining that this is unfair, that China continues to devalue its currency so that foreigners will be able to buy, foreign countries will find their products attractive because they will be cheaper to buy rival brands. You understand? The value of the Chinese currency is not real because they continue to tamper with it. They deliberately lowered it to enable them do well as an exporting, as a country that thrives on export. Is that not manipulating the market?
So what you're saying is they should suspend the flotation and manage the flotation.
No, even if you want to do a managed float, most countries do the managed float. We must do it properly. I do not agree, for example, that our currency is this weak. I will never agree with anyone, even if you are going to take my life. I will never agree that our currency is this weak. So if we say you are selling, the CBN is selling dollars to Bureau de Change operators, you go as far as selling to them at above 1,500. That means you too, you have made up your mind that is the value of the currency.
The value.
Yes. You want to sell, for example, you want to sell at 1,560. What's the meaning of that? What's the meaning of that? We can't leave our currency like that. How can we have a situation in which Benin Republic, their currency will be stronger than ours? Do we even think about it at all?
It is embarrassing.
What are we doing? It is at the root of the suffering that Nigerians are going through. Everything is affected. Everything.
Okay, BK, let me come to Mayor. Mayor, pump price has gone up again just weeks after we had, the new price from the NNPCL. We have a local refinery now in Dangote. Should we be regretting now that we have a local refinery?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just that the problem with NNPCL is that their communication is very bad. They don't explain things to Nigerians properly. The international and the independent marketers are saying that Dangote is more expensive. They're just being clever by half. Because the petrol the NNPCL was selling to them was subsidized.
And they know it.
That is the truth. It was subsidized. So if you claim that Dangote's PMS is more expensive, okay, you go and bring your own and sell. It's as simple as that. What happened is that NNPCL has been doing what they could not afford. They call it under recovery, which is another name for subsidy.
Yes.
Because they didn't want people to rise up in arms. They wanted to sustain the price. And they kept spending money that they do not have. Now they've gotten to the point that they were owing $6 billion. And they don't even have the means to pay.
Which they first denied.
Yeah, part because they were saying they were not doing subsidy and all that. So what they have done now is that they told themselves that since Dangote is now going to give us this product, let us remove subsidy completely and sell at the price at the market price, that with normal price that they were supposed to sell it. Why it is that expensive at that N950 that they are selling now is because Dangote bought those crude paying foreign exchange. In dollars. So when you buy the crude in dollars, from everybody, when you buy in dollars, that is what determines, it is the crude that determines, because that is the major component of whatever you are doing. So Dangote cannot buy crude in dollars and now sell to you at a price below production price. So what NNPC has done is to say, this is the price that we will not put subsidy. They'll be able for once now to remove subsidy. But now in October, there's an arrangement between NNPCL and Dangote Refinery for them to pay in Naira, which means that the cost of the fuel, of the crude that they're going to use will be lower. And then there won't be any need for freight and all that where they're going to bring the crude from. So naturally, the price will go down. Not extensively, but marginally the price will still go down. Yes. But we will have solved a problem, the problem of subsidy. So government can now, or NNPC can now conveniently say that they are no longer paying subsidy. So the difference in the price now has to do with that price. And then to add to what BKO said, the problem of with all respect, I've discussed with people in several fora that I'm disappointed in the governor of Central Bank. As far as I'm concerned, our monetary policy is not being done properly. Yes. That is my belief. And I know that I can't understand how a governor of Central Bank will allow the currency which is his major duty to manage, to get to a stage where it will ruin everything. Because like you said, if had it been it was the time that we were exchanging the Naira for 600, 700,
it won't have this
price of petrol will be about 400 or 500.
Yes.
Price of petrol, PMS, will have been 400 Naira or max 500 Naira.
All right. Mayor, BKO, should the president be reading the Riot Act to the CBN governor right now concerning our currency?
He should be reading the Riot Act, not just to him, but to a good number of the people working with him.
Oh, not just to the
Not
CBN
just, no,
government.
yeah. The economy has not been properly managed.
Correct.
It's visible to the blind. And some actions that you expect them to take quickly, they will take ages. Look at the issue, like when subsidy was removed,
Okay.
the National Assembly approved the president's stimulus plan.
Okay.
They were to bring in CNG buses and all of, even CNG keke napep, they were to bring them in. We then saw that no action was taken for a long time. By the time they were ready, the value of our currency had gone down. So all of those projections, we are going to buy so number of all those have been thrown out of the window, because the exchange rate volatility has ensured that you can no longer match that plan with action. So if you want to take an action and you are just vacillating, you are wasting time about it, at the end of the day, you may not be able to take action. And Nigerians want decisions to be taken quickly on issues that affect their lives. You cannot tell me that this currency thing, look, we went, because of the way we work, sometimes 3 weeks we do not see our families.
Yeah, it's a
I
thankless
then decided that, okay, my wife was complaining, you've not taken us out. This long vacation, we were just at home. I said, okay, let's go. We then went, Ikeja Mall is a very good place, not just for shopping, but for sightseeing. A lot of people go there simply to snap pictures. But majority of the people, they like the ambience, they like the beautiful scenic beauty and all that. I wanted to buy shoes for her. Every place I entered, good shoes were in the region of 200,000 plus.
Sure.
What is my judge? I couldn't buy. Because I looked at her face, looked at the price tag. I said, I'll be crazy to buy this. And you go into another place, it's the same thing.
BKO, can I...
Because of the slide in the value
of our currency.
Many countries, all of these prescriptions, many countries simply brush them aside because they don't want their people to suffer. Manage float. I go for managed float.
Not leaving it for demand
I
and
go
supply.
for managed float, not simply to leave it to the elements. I'm using this word now. Leaving it to the elements. Just whatever happens to it. And then don't forget, when he talked about the way the CBN governor has managed our currency, don't forget, this whole thing degenerated when we wanted to go and meet the black marketers.
Yes.
At their own rate. What is our business with them? We want convergence. Okay. But at what cost? We want convergence because we don't want people to be round-tripping and all that.
That can be better managed than what they are doing.
Yes.
Because the world have not changed. For example, now, if you want to go to Canada, for example, just check the price. Before, when you look at, or you go to America, Tool Delta, it's still the same 1,300, 1,200 that they were carrying. But now, Naira is about 800,000.
At that time.
Now it's about 3.5 million.
Oh dear.
To just buy a ticket to go abroad, to go to America. When you want to go to Kenya, it's 2 million.
People have their children. People have their children
schooling
abroad. Many of them are forced to bring them back home.
Because they can't manage.
Yes, because the 12,000, 15,000 pounds, dollars that you are going to pay now is a different ball game. How will you get it?
How do you cope? Except you are stealing, you are doing other things to augment your income. It's not everybody that is in position to do that. Some people would rather prefer that God takes their life than steal.
Okay, BK, we've talked about the currency.
Let the currency be better managed.
Let's also go back to what the marketers are saying. Vessels are coming in, but really, does it make sense if we are still importing petrol and NNPC, we are still importing, and we have a refinery that can satisfy
the reason for that is that NNPC, Dangote Refinery for now cannot supply all our needs. the more they produce, they'll be able to now meet that. What they are doing now, they cannot. They're supposed to supply majority of what we need, and NNPC will import for the shortfall. But it will get progressively, it will get to a stage where there won't be any need to import. All these people that are saying things, because before this transaction with NNPC, there have been vessels. You just don't go and buy something. You make orders. It takes time. The vessels that will come. So those are pre-orders that have been done.
Yes.
And they can afford to take that because, like I said, NNPC cannot.
NNPC does not even have facility to store.
Okay, they use.
So what they simply do is, no, they use tank farms, private tank farms in the past.
Okay.
And they got their fingers
because they used to steal it.
Somebody stole about 11 million liters and claimed that it was because it was evaporating. You know, let's not go into that. So what they simply do is, these vessels,
okay,
they allow some of them to remain on the ICs.
Okay.
And they will simply tell Navy, we've not taken our petrol from these people, they can't go now.
Okay.
This is what is happening. So once it's your turn, you discharge. And then other people too are on queue. That's their own way of managing that situation. They don't have the facility to store. Dangote has facility to store petrol that we need for a whole month.
Okay.
Yes, he has some tanks
that
can take 1.2 million liters.
Okay.
Just 120 million liters, one tank.
Oh dear.
120 million liters. I saw them. I said 120 million liters, one tank. So he has sufficient storage capacity, but NNPC has not got that. So they have to find a way. Okay, these people, they are friends. When we need them, we take the. So, and for energy security, they are not going to stop importation now, because we have Dangote. That's one refinery. What if something happens to the refinery? No country puts itself in such a situation.
So there needs to be a
Saudi Arabia. Let me tell you, Saudi Arabia, that is the market leader. Saudi Arabia still imports. There are some countries that have sufficient crude oil, but still import Nigerian crude, and they use it to blend what they have.
For example,
that way they will make more money.
Yeah. Because our Lamborghini of crude, you know.
Yes, because our crude oil is the most expensive. If you simply want, I don't think even Dangote can rely 100% on our crude.
He has to mix it with other.
Yes, he has to shop because we are not even producing enough. I just pray our matter won't eventually become like that of Malaysia. Some countries that opted out of OPEC because at a point they were not producing enough. They are not producing enough.
Okay, BK, some analysts believe that Dangote selling PMS at dollar-wise 55 cents is bending over backwards. That if he's to sell according to international pricing for gasoline, like for example, in Ghana, they say PMS sells for $1.20. In Singapore, $2.50. And also in Canada, $1.50. They said that he's selling at that amount, 55 cents. It's like bending over backwards. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know.
I don't agree with that.
I don't know about that. There are many things we read that we just laugh. Did I not say somebody suggested that they should sell crude oil to him at $50? When in fact our cost of production is about 40. So what will be the gain of Nigeria if you sell at 50? You know, some of the things that we read, if we subject them to critical analysis, we'll see that there is no sense.
And then you cannot make a 20 billion investment and then sell under your production cost.
No,
it's not possible.
No, you will be in trouble. He has to pay his loans.
It's not
I'm
possible.
not saying that the market, if we can't buy,
so for them to sell at that prices,
it will probably be to even export. You will make a lot of money exporting.
You will make more money exporting.
Yes, exporting refined crude. There are markets all over the place for him, all over the world. People are looking for these things.
Okay.
Even countries that do not have.
There are people who import oil like we used to import
oil. They have
refineries,
and they are making good money.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. We need to pay some bills. We'll be right back, and when we're back,